Welcome everyone to our first attempt at cooking for you. I hope you enjoy. My name is Janet
and my name is Michaela.
And this is our Stay Bad kitchen, where our kitchen stay real bad. Real bad? Real bad. So today we'll be making an ultimate seafood broil for you, where Michaela and I are going to be cooking. You ready for this?
Yes, well make sure I get the good side what's not spicy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make it spicy and not so spicy. So stay tuned. You're in for a treat. Stay Bad Kitchen. To make a seafood broil, there's a lot of things. So first of all, you want to start your potatoes and corn. Now I use the different color potatoes because it gives your seafood broil a better look. Looks more yummy to the eyes, right Michaela?
True.
We have corn. You can cut it up any size you want. It depends how many people you're feeding. I like to have them this size. I know people do them smaller. This is our version. We're not chefs, so by no means. So to save time, we have in a pot some boiling water. Now you want to be careful not to season your pot too much because the seafood has a lot of salt and you don't want too many salt in it. So right now, Michaela is going to slowly put in the corn so it can start to get going. So go ahead, Michaela. Don't drop it. Just put it in, right? Mommy will help you. So we're just putting in the corn to boiling water. Okay? That's all we're doing right now. And then I'm going to season the pot to get some flavor. So that's what we're doing right now. And like I said, you cut them up. You can get this from your local store. Everything that we'll be doing today has already been washed and cleaned. So just because it's boiling and I don't want it to splash up, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the potatoes. You can use bigger potatoes, but then you have to cut them. I like these size because it just looks better when you present it to your guests or to your family for dinner. This goes great too, guys, for anything, as a snack, as a meal, because as you can see, corn and potatoes fills you up. So you just put all of your corn and your potatoes in there, okay? Once you've done that now, I'm going to season my pot. You want to be careful not to, like I said, the salt seasoning. So we have adobe, paprika, turmeric, all-purpose seasoning, Vegeta, Slap Your Mama. We have garlic pepper, herbs, black pepper, sea salt, parsley flake, oregano, lemon pepper, pink, and some fresh seasoning. So to season the pot, we are only going to put a little salt. So just a little salt in there. Again, not too much. Be good for the white onion. It's just to drop it in there for flavor. So you just peel this off like this. Okay, I'm going to wash it. Remember to wash everything that you use. And I'm just going to drop it in. That's all. I just want it to have flavor. So I'm going to get some green onions from, again, your local store here in town. We live in Milton, so I'm the housewife of Milton. And so right now, Michaela is not going to do the seasoning part of it because you know, the cutting and that. She will do the melting and all that of the seafood, the actual seafood, right, Michaela?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take this off. So you're just taking this off to just drop in your pot. That's all. It's just to season the water. That's all you want to do with this right now is season your water. So again, washing everything and drop it in. That's it. All right. So we'll be right back when we're getting ready to add the seafood. I cook my seafood. I know a lot of people boil their seafood, but it's much tastier when you cook your seafood. So I'll be right back and I'm just gonna show you how we cook our seafood. Saucepan, you wanna heat your pan. And like I said, we're going to cook our seafood in butter. Guys, be very careful to use no salt. You don't want salt because the seasoning that we're gonna use has a lot of salt. So I'm going to put the butter in here and Michaela is going to melt it. So watch what happens. So Go ahead, Michelle. And you want to cook this in butter. So if you're on a diet, should they be on a diet for this? No. No. This is a very fattening meal. Very fattening. So there you go. So Michaela's going to melt that butter. So while the butter is melted, I'm just gonna add some garlic. If you guys have never smelled butter and garlic, I don't know what to tell you. Spin that around, Michaela. So you're just melting the butter and the garlic right now, and then I'm going to slowly put in the shrimp, and you're gonna let them cook. Now, shrimp does not take long to cook, and you don't want your shrimp to be overcooked because there's so much seafood to go in that you just want it to be perfect. So while Michaela holds on for a second, I'm going to slowly add the shrimp. Okay, you want to put your stove on medium, and again, not too high to not let it show. So I'm just going to add the shrimp, and I'm just going to cook all the shrimp in here. Again, you're going to be giving a lot of butter. You're going to be adding a lot of stuff to this. And I don't necessarily, you leave the shell on. These I bought, they're already deveined, okay? So everything is good for them. You can devein them. It's better to have your shells on with a seafood boil. If you're doing any other type of shrimp, you can of course deshell them, but the shell on is very good. So, Michaela, could you stir that, please?
Of course. This smells really good.
So let's give that a moment to cook, and we'll be right back. So now you can see our shrimps are cooked. So now Michaela is going to take the shrimp, and we're going to put it in this big bowl where we're going to hold all our seafood now that we're finished just the shrimp. So go ahead, Michaela. I'll hold it on. So she's just going to take it out. Try not to get the butter out, just the shrimp. Now we're gonna cook the lobster tails. So I've cut them into bite size, and we're going to wait until these cook. Like I said, I cook my seafood. I don't boil it, and a lot of people boil it, and that's okay. This is my version of a seafood boil, and people seem to like it, right, Michaela?
Yeah, I love it.
So we'll wait until that cooks, and then we'll come back and show you the rest. So, as you guys can see, the lobster is cooked. Lobster doesn't take long to cook as well, guys. But if you notice that, the oil is gone, because that's what I use to cook my shrimp and my lobster. So now we're going to add some more butter, garlic, and this time I'm going to introduce you guys to, I use 3 butters with my seafood rolls. So we're going to add some more, no salt. Remember that? Trust me, if you use salt, you're going to regret it, because the seafood has naturally a lot of salt. Okay, so now we're going to use 2 more sticks of butter. Remember, this is not for people who are dieting. This is not the seafood for you. However, I will tell you at the end if you want to make this more, well, I won't say diet friendly, but more better. This is a butter with garlic, okay? Now this has also herbs in it. You get this at your local store. It is also where you find your butter. And to cook the rest of my seafood, my crab, my snow crab, my king crab, I like to flavor it up a little bit more. So I'm going to use my butters, more crushed garlic. You can crush the garlic yourself. Why do it when it's already done for you? And another thing that I put in mine is some minced ginger. They have crushed ginger, anything you want to do. And I'm Jamaican. We don't, Caribbean people, we don't measure, so eyeball it. So with that, you just wait and let everything get melted. So I'll be back when everything is melted and you'll see how it looks before we add the rest of our seafood. Stay tuned. So now that everything is all melted, I'm going to add the seafood. So here we have lobster claws, king crab legs, snow crab legs, all different kinds of claws in here. It doesn't matter what I'm adding because I'm slowly going to cook the rest of this seafood. So I'm just gonna add some of it now. And this again does not take long to cook. The process of making this seafood boil is very long, but the process of cooking it, each type of seafood is not long, if that makes sense to anyone. So if you make this for family and friends, good Christmas gifts and good birthday presents. So we're just doing it so that I can cover it up with the butter. Okay, so the butter goes all over everything, and we're just gonna make that cook. So I'll be back to show you when we cook some more. So in the meantime, you want to check your potatoes to make sure that they are cooking. So if I hold a potato like this, and I take a knife, and if I can cut it, if I can put my fork through it and cut it, the potato's ready. So my corn and potatoes are ready, so I can turn off the stove because we're not ready for it yet. I'm gonna drain it once it cools and put it into my dish because we're gonna mix it all up and then we're gonna make my famous sauce. So the potatoes and the corn, you're gonna just gear it. I can't tell you how long that will be. You're just gonna gear it to see when it's ready for you. So I added a little bit of chicken broth in here because I have so much seafood, and for time, that's what I did. Now you can add this chicken broth at any time if you want to cook your seafood in it, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take out the seafood, put it in our bowl, and this is our corn and potatoes. But we want the corn and potatoes to also go in this mix to give it flavor. Once we take it out, then you'll see how I make my sauce. We'll put it together, stick it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and then you'll see it plated. So right now, we'll be right back. We're just gonna take the seafood out, and I'll come back and show you guys how we season up the potatoes and the corn. Here you go, Michaela. It's crazy. Snow cat, crib cat, king, snow, everything in this pot.
So it smells like so delicious.
It smells delicious, Michaela?
I bet it's gonna taste delicious too.
Good job. Okay, then some more butter. So I use a lot of butter, guys, a lot of butter. So this is, you could use whatever brand you have, soft butter, whichever one you want to use, you can use. This is one of the butters I use. And just gonna put the butter in. Again, you're on a diet, this is not the video for you. Okay, so we're gonna melt that butter. We don't even need it to be melted all the way. And fresh parsley. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a bit of it now. So fresh parsley. In here, I have my Slap Your Mama, Adibo, oregano, all-purpose, cumin, everything in here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in here for now, and everything is to taste. But right now, I'm looking for flavors. I'm gonna achieve my taste in a minute. But right now, all I'm doing is just looking for flavors in here to cook finish up my potato and corn. My pan has been washed, So I'm just gonna put, and slowly, because these potatoes are cooked, so you wanna make sure that you're just careful. So I'm gonna just put my potatoes in, and my corn. And all I'm doing is I just want the flavors to be in the potato as well, right? So that every bite of this boil, you're getting a taste of the flavors. So as you can see, all I'm doing is just making sure that everything has the flavor. Keep your kitchen clean. In BAad kitchen, as you cook, you wipe. Cook and wipe. Put away and keep your kitchen clean. So all my potatoes and corn are in. I'm going to cover it up so that the steam gets through everything, and we'll be right back. Oh, you can get that. So now it's been about 10 minutes. All the sauce has been on the corn and potato. I'm going to put it in a dish. You can use any size dish you want. I'm gonna mix it up, put it in there, and then I'm going to make my sauce, pour it on, and put it in the oven. All right, so you guys are gonna see a little bit of me putting it together, and then we'll wait for the sauce. Michaela, could you come here, please?
Of course.
So, corn, potatoes, lobster, crab, right? Okay, so we'll be back once I plate it out. Okay, so this is how it looks, but it's not ready yet. There's no sauce. So I'm gonna show you my famous sauce. So, again, another garlic spread. This time this is a garlic spread. You can find it at your local store. I'm gonna use all of it because as you can see, this is the ultimate seafood broil. We have 2 over there. Okay, so I'm going to melt this butter. Okay. We're also going to use this butter. If you by chance are dieting or you don't want it to be this rich, simply use more chicken broth and use the 30% less sodium. Believe me, those seasonings all have a lot of salt. Okay? While that's melting, you use the rest of your parsley. Do it to whatever you like. I'm choosing to use fresh this time because you know it's my first video, but normally I buy this store-bought because you know girlfriend has no time to cut up anything. But you know, I'm gonna use freshly, but I'm gonna also use some store-bought. Again, I told you what was in this already, showed it to you at the beginning of the video. So we're gonna put that all in. We're gonna use onions. Now I like red onions because white onion is good, but for me red onion gives a better taste and it adds a little sweetness. So even if your seafood broil is a little salty, the sweetness of the red onion, it'll balance it out perfectly. You don't need to cut it up any old way. I like it a little chunky so that when you dip your sauce, you get little chunks of it in each bite. So I'm gonna put a lot of onions in there, okay? The garlic, again, you come in with your minced garlic and ginger. So this is the ginger. Again, using very sparingly. This is where now you're going to go to taste. So that is my ginger and the garlic. Now, if you buy this size bottle, yes, you're going to use the whole thing. But like I said, I only did this for the camera because I do a lot of things with garlic. This garlic saves you so much time. Yes, you can cut it up if you would like. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I am just going to pour all that in And I'm going to wait until this comes to a boil. I'm going to taste it, see what it needs, and we'll be right back. So once this has now come up to a little boil, you want to add, this is your trick to your seafood broil, sriracha sauce. So I'm going to put it in, and now look what's going to happen with the color. Okay? So I'm going to put it in, and now look. You see it coming red? That's it. That's what you want. That's what you need in your life. The more of this you put in, the spicier it gets. So I'm going to hold off a little. We're going to come back once this starts to cook. All right? Again, pouring in your chicken broth. Okay? So I'm going to use 1 of this chicken broth in here. And when that all comes to a boil and cook, we'll be right back. Taking a drink break. Wine for mommy. And what for you?
Water for me.
Water for her. Cheers. Oh, you're doing a good job, honey.
Thank you.
So, guys, look at the pot. So now you see it boiling. I'm going to take some lemon and I'm just going to squirt it in there. Okay? Now here's where you want to taste to see if you need anything else. So I'm going to just have a little taste. Delicious. Now here's where if I wanted it more spicy, I add more sriracha sauce, and I can add parsley, anything that I think I need. But I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast. It's perfect. So we're now gonna put it on our seafood. Because in case you didn't cook, if you're fearful that you didn't cook your seafood enough, putting it in the oven sets it and gives it a little bit more cooking. So I'm just gonna scoop it up, and all you're going to do is just pour it all over your seafood. Okay? And then you're going to put it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, and that's it. So when we come back, you'll see it plated, how I serve it, and my rendition of the ultimate seafood broil. We'll be right back. Finished product before it goes into the oven. Don't forget your cherry tomatoes and cut up some lemon pieces, and you can also squirt some lemon on it. So we'll be back. Video. Michaela, you did a great job.
Right back at you.
Alright guys, so now we have another YouTuber, and your name is? Janet and Amanda. Run on over to her channel to see the mukbang of this fabulous meal. So thank you all for joining Michaela and I, Milton Mom. Stay back kitchen. Our kitchen is clean. The food is made. Enjoy yourself. Stay blessed. Don't be stressed. And have a wonderful day, guys. Good.